first part of the project started in 2013. The idea was to replace their existing flower system with this new flower system program.
We were looking for an upgraded system. In the middle of a batch, it would forget where it was at. We'd draw up the wrong ingredients. We'd end up losing that batch.
We didn't know where we were at, so we can get a negative 900 pounds, have a bad doe, have a bad 6 does, and don't know why we're having that problem.
At the time, the flower system was one piece of about 5 or 6 other PLCs in the system, and so there was a lot of communication between those parts.
It's like you had 5 people talking at the same time, and the messaging wasn't getting clear. We reached out and got a hold of NorthWind and see if they could come in and simplify the system. And they have done a fabulous job on that.
They knew us from the flower system, but they started calling our service team to answer questions all around the plant as they dealt with automation. We approached them at that time with a solution of ours called BatchLogix.
Our BatchLogix program is designed to be specifically a recipe management and data collection software. On their old system, it was a lot more rigid. They didn't have the flexibility to change recipe names or ingredient set points. Add an ingredient was hard to do. With BatchLogix, it's really designed to be very dynamic.
BatchLogix is a very simple program to run. You input the data, and to make the changes is very simple.
Changing a recipe name required a couple hours of changes because it propagated all the way through the graphics, where with BatchLogix, you change that in BatchLogix and it's seamless to the PLC.
We also ended up tying the information from BatchLogix into an existing information system they had, and they started getting information reports that they'd never been getting before.
The BatchLogix really tells us where we're at, and it keeps us consistent day after day.
We wanted to keep the look as close as possible so that our operators could make the transition from old system to new system as smoothly as possible.
They had operators that had been running it for a long time. We tried to kind of make it the same setup and flow and look similar so that they were already used to it.
I think the biggest thing is the graphics that are available with the new system.
So now on our dough screen, we have a picture of a mixer. Before we just had green dots.
They didn't have good alarming on their screen of this specific valve is faulted. With a PID number, they can go back and look in the drawings, and the way all of our stuff works, you can look at the HOA and see what it's called and a device number, and that immediately points you to the right place in the program and drawings.
It actually pops up and kind of sends you right to where the issue's at. Where the old system, you had to kind of look until you found it.
If you can't get flour into the bakery, you can go to the maintenance screen, and instead of spending time looking inside the bakery, it shows you a flour blower outside is kicked out. I guess in a nutshell, it cut troubleshooting down by probably 50%.
We still do experience downtime, but not to where we were before. And the system's a lot easier to operate.
And then when we implemented it with a go live, they were on site for a full week to help us out.
We developed a phased approach where we would upgrade one piece of the system at a time over a weekend typically. I mean, they would be down for 48 hours maximum, and we would upgrade one whole piece of their system.
They knew exactly where that plant was and where it needed to be, and we got back up and running really quick because they knew their plant really well.
If you call for service or have a problem or want to change something, it doesn't really matter who you get a hold of, things get done.
They were very easy to work with throughout the whole implementation, as well as continuing to back us up as we go.
When they walk out, you're not alone. It's just not one and done with NorthWinds. The support that they tell you they give, it's a company that truly gives the support after the job is done.
Overall, it's excellent. It's a lot better than where we were. Couldn't ask for more.